Okay, so I'm not the one who really enjoys to find myself into some controversial topics and some things that you don't really want to hear, but there are some things that has been happening over the internet that I feel like it's getting out of hand. Really, to be honest, it's getting out of hand. But I'm just gonna try to remind the world that sometimes things that you do, it's not really necessary, to be honest, because you are perfect the way you are and you are made by God's image. And I just feel like sometimes you always have to remember who you are. What am I talking about, you may ask? Last week I saw a video of a woman adding up some dimples, like artificially putting up some dimples. It was literally like a man-made plastic surgery. She was trying to look a bit whiter than she is, trying to change her face, trying to add her lips to make them bigger than they are, trying to find a way to, I don't know, I think they call it beautify herself. And she did that on live television, on live media. Like, I think the video's there on TikTok somewhere if you look for it. And it was happening, and I was like, okay, so this is how people are living. Like, is this now what we should be calling the new normal? And fast forward, if we go a bit back, you would see that so many products are being bought in different parts of the world for people to change their skin color. If you are black, you want to be a bit whiter or a bit lighter, or even to be white like Michael Jackson. If you are white, you are working so hard to get some products that will make you a bit blacker or a bit darker, so that you're not really white. It feels like we are having what we call an identity crisis over the Gen Z generation, or I'm talking about this generation that is now in this world. We are literally having an identity crisis that we don't really know who we are. We are trying by all means to fit into different communities. Remember, now this world is identified by the communities that are out there. So it has become a world where if you don't look a certain way, if you don't change yourself to a certain way, you're not beautiful enough. People will not cherish you enough, will not love you the same. You will not get followers of the other of the other color or the other skin tone. I just don't get it. And I feel like mostly it's affecting more women than men. They, don't get me wrong, there are men, there are actually men who are adding bums to themselves to have bigger bums, and they are trying to make it even look cooler on social media, make it moving around, trying to walk like women and everyone. So it's a thing that has been happening so much, and I feel like I'm saying, it's a problem of identity crisis. And I wonder what is leading to that. You might ask yourself this question: why is it that we are now in a world where the world is trying to change themselves to be who they are, from who they are to who they think they will be better like? I don't really get it. So because I look at myself every single day, and I say that I'm the person that I am because God made me like this, and I love myself for who I am. And I don't really think I'll be working so hard to become something different than who I am right now. I love who everyone think of me like, and I'm not a person who's gonna be listening to anybody's advice. You'll be like, do you know you look better if you're a little light skin? I'll never take those advices, because the truth of the matter is that I'm not defined by what the rest of the world thinks of me. I'm defined by who I am as a person. I'm defined by what governed me, and what governed me is what the heavens are saying I am. And it's very important to remember that in everything that you do to yourself, there should be an aspect of you making a decision for you. Let me try to make this sense, because so much of the world is too opinion. There are so many opinions that are coming from the rest of the world. We find ourselves working so hard to look like what the rest of the world is saying, rather than what I think. Or because my friend, or because user number something said that I would look good if I wear pink, so I'm gonna buy pink clothes. Because I was there, and my friend said that, you know what, you'd be amazing if you could if you could increase your bums. You'd be amazing if you could have a bigger something, whatever that the world is doing. And I feel like this is what is happening. It's not because we want to change ourselves. In fact, I feel like most of us, we were happy with who we are growing up. But there is an individual who's telling us that we look good when we're like this. There is a trend that is on social media that every woman is doing this to become more beautiful. Every man is doing this to become more handsome or more likely to look like a woman than they are. All these things, this entire world that we live in, it has just become so twisted that sometimes I feel like we are forgetting that above all we are people, above all we are human beings, above all we are people who are meant to be cherished as who we are than what the world thinks of us. Because I hurt each and every day seeing people trying to look like they are not. I'm really hurt to see people trying to change themselves, try to look themselves so that they can fit a certain culture, or they can fit into a certain demographic of what people put them into. They may fit into a certain gender which they are not part of. I feel so much that this world is losing rather than gaining. We feel like we are losing so amazing young ladies, so amazing young men who are working so hard to become something that they are not. And I just come here today and tell you that you don't really have to. You don't really have to work or live a life to change for what other people's opinion, to fit into other people's characteristics of a person, to fit into what other people are doing as a trend so that you might feel special. This is a world you need to be careful. That's why you find that so many people, young generations, are suffering from mental health. They are suffering from a mental health where you feel like they are playing a character. I talked about this, if you remember. I told you that the reason why you find that we have problems of being depressed, people going through so many things, is because we have allowed ourselves to become a character. We have allowed ourselves to play a character into today's world, to fit in, to feel accepted, in which that we are losing the being that makes us free. Do you know how much the brain works so hard? Do you know how much the body uses just try to act a certain way in which you are not you? There's some people who be like on social media, you can see it when you look at people's faces that that's not him. To be honest, he's trying to look like this, but that's not him. Looking at that every single day and seeing it, and that also being accepted and just being just being allowed to become that way, it's painful because a lot of young people are losing themselves. And if this continues, and if this world continues going in that direction, I'm telling you, we are gonna see a lot of graves walking than we have ever seen in our lives. And you must say, what do you mean? That's not fair. You are being hurt. No, that's the truth. There are so many people who are walking but dead. And I actually mean physically dead, but walking. Because sometimes you have to understand that this world, you were meant to enjoy everything that happens in this world. And if you are living this world for other people, then you are as good as dead, because whatever they say you do, you do. So you have to think about yourself. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and say that, am I going to live this world for other people? Or whether they like me or not, I'm going to live for me. As long as I feel alive, as long as I feel happy, then this is what I will do for me. I don't care what the rest of the world is going to call me, whatever they want to say about me. It's not what they say that actually have to affect me. It's what I think of myself. It's what I believe myself to be. It's what I pray for every day, to become the best person version of me, to work so hard to become the best version of me. Sometimes it's a situation of maybe the place you are born at. Maybe it's forcing you to become a different character. But also I beg to differ, because this is what I've come to learn. Even though I was born into this world, even if I was born in a place that did not really allow me to become who I am, I believe that I can also light up the world with my character, with who I am, if I just allow myself to shine. There is somebody in this world who would actually appreciate me as who I am, not what the world expects me to be. I'm talking out of experience. If you have known me for such a long time, maybe from my school days, you'd see that I'll do things just try to make people, like me. But I've learned that no. What do I benefit from people liking me? Please look at yourself in the mirror before you destroy yourself. You have already changed so many body parts in your life for you to continue doing this every single day, and you think that that will help you to make you a perfect person. Be real to yourself. Don't live in this cancel culture and you think that if I don't do this, they'll cancel me. Nobody cares what they think. And to be honest, you shouldn't care yourselves. Enjoy your life. Be the greatest version you can be. Don't try to fit in. Let the people, the right people, fit into you. And it's easy to find people. There are nerds in the world. And you find that they'll always have friends who are nerds as well. Guess what? 1 + 1 makes it 2. Don't try to be a cool person when you know goddamn well that you're not. Don't try. You do things just to hurt other people to feel you're cool. No, don't. You don't deserve in that type of a world. You have your own side where you will feel perfectly fine when you fit in. And that's why I want you to look at yourself in the mirror. Write the pros and the cons of you acting as a character, and you'd see that the cons outweighs the pros because you are a perfect person. Thank you very much for watching. I can continue talking about this because this has been happening so much in the world, and it feels like unless something comes in and stop this, we are losing an entire generation. And I just pray to the heavens that God help us before it's too late. So thank you very much for watching The Connect. I hope to see you on another one, and I hope you learned something amazing on this video. Let's see where this can take you on. It's really a controversial topic that people are afraid of actually talking about, but I had to. I must. So you join me on the social, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, everywhere you can find me. I'm always there talking about how you can be the best version of yourself. So thank you very much for watching. I'm out. I'll see you on another one. Peace.